some point, and the match
already
started. Oh my god, we're so late.
Poopy.
So we are on Legacy of the Fire playing Accidentally Famous against Epic, and the game starts in 3 seconds. Sorry for the late introduction, guys. We wanted to make an epic introduction, but we will probably do this on in the finals, I guess.
I do apologize.
So what we see here currently is the blue team moving to all 3 points at the same time as well as to the red team. So we will have 3 1-on-1s going on currently. Quarry is an engineer against the elementalist of Accidentally Famous. In the middle we have Truck fighting Kleiner K. Oh my god, I need to speak that.
Kleiner K. And then
it's a German word.
Oh, so whatever. And then we have Shiraj taking on Moa over here at the waterfall. That fight's seemingly getting close to its end. We have a Necromancer taking on a warrior here. Shiraj looks like he's going to be going down first, however, which means more than likely Moa will be getting that initial cap for his team. Back over to the middle now. We do have the Guardian taking on the Engineer. Guardian seeming to be on the losing end of that right now, and then just checking in at the Quarry real quick. We still have Jan taking on taking on Awu here as well. Let's go back to the middle and take a look at that fight, though. See how that's going. Kleiner K is getting extremely low here. Let's take a look at him. His cooldowns. He does have his heal ready, and he's using that now. A very powerful heal indeed. And as his other cooldowns come up, he will be able to survive this 1v1. We still have another fight. I'm just trying to check over here. So Shiraj. Oh my goodness. I missed out on that. Shiraj actually turned that fight around. And with the Vengeance, more than likely, he managed to get that back for himself. Nicely done to Shiraj there. I missed that. And we are going to see now. We still have the 1v1s occurring on the other points as well, which means Red Team will now have the first control point here as we move over into this now. And Shiraj once again about to engage. Going to go over to his point of view again, see how he handles it this time. Oops, Moa taking a lot of damage already, man. Look at this.
He's going so low, he needed to pop his dash shot at that another stage of the fight. He still got his heal up, but if he's not using it, he didn't even use his heal. Shiraj just completely decimated him here on Waterfall. Very, very well played by him. We see the Engineer, I guess it is, coming over right now too. This will be hopefully a more interesting fight than the one before, even if it was interesting because of that quick win. Now it seems like the other way around. The Engineer's doing a really good job. Shiraj going down as quickly as Moa beforehand. Really interesting how those warriors can play out.
He may be able to, he's delaying the stop a little bit here, so we may see him pop up his Vengeance after all. Oh, nope, cancel like he's doing Mocha. No, the Vengeance will get off. He's going to use that, try and take out Trank here a little bit. Unfortunately, he is slowed significantly, trying to get on him, doing a lot of damage, unfortunately dodging that knockdown. So he looks like more than likely Shiraj will not be able to use his Vengeance efficiently. Meanwhile, while we were occupied over there, we did have Kleiner K take back middle point as Track had to leave the middle point in order to capture Waterfall. But we still have this fight brewing over here at the Quarry. Now, who do you think could win this one if this fight would ever end?
Yeah, it would probably Yin right now.
we did, yeah. Just as I asked the question.
By the way. And can you switch the layouts around? They are wrong.
They are wrong.
Apparently.
Oh, that's my bad. Apologies. Let's do that now. Continue casting though. I'm gonna look at Shiraj.
In the middle of the track, was able to kill Kleiner K, so this point will actually go to Accidentally Famous sides, as well as we saw just winning against Jin on a Quarry, but the warrior again is on that point dealing a lot amount of damage. The knockdown didn't just go through. Very well played by Shiraj there to dodge that. He's dealing a lot of damage. Awu can't really take any space, can't go anywhere else because the point is just so small, so the warrior can keep up quite easily. Truck actually joining that final. Shiraj is in all kinds of trouble, but we see mid is getting decapped any second now by Kleiner K, who just got his respawn. Track actually now to that going back.
We also just had Shiraj do an amazing juke there with his savage leap, able to get completely out of that fight, working his way around and really just working his way back out of that fight and saving his own life. He's now going to rejoin the fight over here at the middle now in order to get Track off of Kleiner's butt here a little bit. As we look into it now, Shiraj currently damaging out Track. And it looks like Track will go down with the excellent burst that comes in from Shiraj every single time. And just as the stomp goes off, Red Team will capture this point. Red Team Epic, however, is currently down at 79 points. Blue Team Accidentally Famous currently up at 120 points. So what is that sound in your background?
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so we are continuing on here. I thought you'd fallen out of your chair for a second. I got worried. Anyway.
No. I'm fine. But we see now Moa coming into mid. He let the enemy bleed out on Waterfall for such a long duration, so they will have the upper hand right now. We see Kleineke dropping difficulty very low there, popping his heal, of course, to sell off. Shiraj, by the way, is going down. Actually, is stomped already. Kleineke going down too. We saw Moa actually pop into his form, in which
Moa had gone into his Plague form, in which allowed him to get the stomp off in the middle of the cast. Meanwhile, however, we do have Quarry being taken back by the Red Team. There are reinforcements coming in the form of Awu, the Elementalist here. He will not. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Yin Kirsi was able to recapture it, however, so Awu will now be at a disadvantage fighting here.
Still Accidentally Famous got the minor lead. They have 2 points actually with an 80-point lead. We do remember, guys, we only played to 350 points, so we are getting to that middle area right now, the mid game, going into late game fairly soon. Well, Yin is currently under heavy pressure, going down to Truck, and Avu there doing such a good job, but Kleineke again able to neutralize mid and probably even able to capture it as we see it right now.
Nicely done indeed. They did just take it out, so now which will allow them to regain that point and keep their lead going strongly. They are now within range if they would like to pursue a Lord Rush. Currently over here we do have Moa knocking down Surja. And we're more than likely are going to see Moa stomp, or we have seen Surja come back from it before, so it looks like actually Surja, and Surja will get her vengeance off. She's actually sort of delaying it seems here, waiting for the correct opportunity. Both of them are playing this very passively at the moment. Surja's waiting for her to come near to death, and she's going to pop out of it now. Not the best choice in waiting for it, in my opinion. However, she's still going to doing a lot of damage to Moa, knocking him down. Here comes the stomp. Now the question is, will it cleanse the vengeance? And yes, it will, so Suraj will maintain this fight and recapture the point for her team. Going over to the middle fight now, where we currently have Track taking on Kleiner K. Kleiner K only alive at the moment due to the fact that the Sanctuary saved his buttocks. Track throwing down grenades here, just decimating Kleiner.
Just popped up, so he could be full health any second again, and there we see Track now in some kind of a dangerous situation. His heal isn't up, he's at half HP if someone could help here, but we see both other players of their team are currently in fights at Quarry or at Waterfall again, so it is a 1-1, and Kleineke seems to lose this again after a couple of seconds now.
Yep, it does look like Kleineke will be going down. It's going to be pretty close over because Track himself is about to go down. 20 stacks of might onto Track. His heal comes off cooldown, however Kleiner's was not available, and with that blinding field, Kleiner K will be knocked out, giving Track the key to the middle point. Over to the Waterfall again, we also have Moa once more taking on Siraj. Definitely has been the dynamic duo for dueling so far in this game. As we see Shiraz once again going very close to death. I think Moa is slowly learning his lesson though. As we see now, he's waiting very cautiously. In all honesty, he could probably get this, and it looks like he might get the stomp off here. Yes, unfortunately, he was LOS to the hammer throw, which did not allow him to interrupt. And as we now move back over to the Quarry fight here, we have Yin Kirsi taking on 2 members of the blue team. She's being very cautious as these people can take her out very quickly. We also see Track moving back to middle.
Yes, going back to middle because Kleineke actually is there again as always. He gets at least the decap off, but Ava looking quite good at the moment. But we see them pushing into mid. They want to go on 2 points to actually win more matchup, as it seems Kleineke now the target of all 3 members of Accidentally Famous. Moa now reacting to go to the warrior who's actually decapping Waterfall right now, what we see in the top corner of our screen. But Kleineke again very low, needs to step this game a bit up, is getting down again, but I don't think he could survive this.
He will not, and it will once again go into control of the blue team. Blue team nearing closer and closer to victory in the first match here, only about 50 points to go. Keep in mind, however, that red team as well is now within range of a Lord Rush if they choose to do so. However, I do not feel it will happen, as we are seeing now Siraj getting bursted off this point. Unfortunately, he did go off the point, which will basically allow Accidentally Famous to bleed him out, which they are not choosing to do. And now they will capture the water in their favor.
But currently we've got this situation. Quarry is actually kept for the red team. Now we see the waterfall again kept for the blue team, so they will be getting near to the final goal to 350 points. But Epic doing a good job currently at keeping up. They need to get the pressure onto waterfall, otherwise they will just lose in the next couple of minutes, I would say.
We've seen Shiraj going for it constantly here, but unfortunately, as the blue team has been adjusting to the strategy, they've really just been able to sort of counter it for the most part now, as it's pretty much the predictable thing. She's going for it once more. Again, the Necro responding appropriately as he is falling back now, and it doesn't look up.
The time actually ran out. 10 minutes are over. We didn't even look at that because it normally doesn't happen. So we end the game with 324 to 64.
Very good game played on both sides. I believe, let me just triple check something real quick. So how do you think that game went there? It was a pretty good game. What were the weaknesses and strengths on both sides that we saw?
So we saw at last, Accidentally Famous adapted a bit. They went back from the Farpoint 2 contest mid more constantly. I guess they could have won even better if someone just stayed in mid, and ClanRK couldn't have decapped it all the way through every single time. But on the other hand, Epic was trying so hard. ClanRK had the mission, the objective. I am the tank, I need to hold that midpoint. But as we saw, he lost the one-on-ones over and over again. But they kept splitting up. If they would have just gathered up for a second, got mid, go with two members to 1 point, kept this one, and then defended like Accidentally Famous did in the last couple of minutes, I think they would have been way better, way more able to just get the points they need to.
I can definitely agree with that. They both teams played very well. Shiraj actually surprised me with that Warrior build, coming out very good against Moa. They're knocking him out quite a few times, even using Vengeance to its full potential there, as we saw. He did waste time with it, unfortunately, a couple of times. But overall, he used it pretty well, and definitely the star player of that match, in my opinion, Siraj.
I think what he tried to do while waiting to use his Vengeance, if he could have healed up like he tried, Moa needed to react. And if he's in a good position, actually Moa needs to come very close to him, so he doesn't need to close that gap between those two players, which is really strong for him, so that's why he waited, I guess.
Okay. Well, we are actually going to do another match. The bracket said best of 1, but it is a best of 3, so let's get right into it. Going to go back over to our Guild Wars 2 camp, and here we go. Alright, so we did have Accidentally Famous take the first match. Let me adjust the scoreboard real quick to reflect that. There we go. Alright, so the Accidentally Famous is up 1-0 in the series now, and we are getting started directly with our second game again. And here we go. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I don't know what to call it. I hope that Accidentally Famous wins it of a personal choice. I'm like a little fanboy of them, honestly, but I don't really count Epic out at the moment. They are really strong, especially on this map. They could play to a better potential because it's easier to keep track of mine and keep.
Yes, indeed. We are going to have Blue Team's Necro will be running up to keep. Meanwhile, we're going to have the Warrior and Guardian on Team Epic going for the keep point as well. However, Blue Team's Elementalist has chosen to contest far point at mine as well. So Red Team will have the initial strength here at middle. And it seems Moa is actually choosing not to fight it at all here. That or he actually no, it's more that he can't get on the point. He was able to get on there the last second, however, and he's popping his Plague Form instantly as he knows that damage is going to be coming in. With the capture point going, with the Henge rather going to the Blue Team, the Engineer Track will also be coming to the middle to help out. We're going to have that supply kit coming directly in, going to Shiraj's point of view now, seeing how he handles this. It looks like they're still targeting the Necromancer there. He's going to pop his heal. Unfortunately, it was poisoned, so its effectiveness was reduced heavily. Shiraj here getting pretty low. He does have those kits he can pick up though. And we are seeing it now. Actually, sorry, he cannot pick up those kits. Apologies.
Yeah.
And Shiraj will be going down now. We are going to see the stomp come in from Track. Interrupted though. However, ClanRK is not really in a good position to res it. We're seeing him go for it anyway. And yes, just in time.
It off. Oh my gosh, that was so important for them to not lose this fight. They actually can stay alive.
But look at these.
A little bit longer. Moa is very low right now.
But those conditions all over Shiraj once more just absolutely destroyed him coming in there. And unfortunately, now ClanRK also being down. He will be stomped. which will give accidentally famous the initial middle cap, and actually no, he's gonna pop the vengeance. Not the smartest choice for this time of day, in my opinion. I don't know what you personally think about it, but he does really have a chance to take down anyone here. So I think that was unfortunately a bit of a wasted time.
I guess he just wanted to stall the point.
He can't though, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, he tried to push them off just to get a bit more aggression around. We see now that the red team, when we look into the overview, is gathering at this small end, which is really easily defendable by an engineer with his bombs and his flamethrower. He can just put them down in this small area and they will hit definitely. We see now Kleiner going up to mid, trying to force the team to back up, and we see on Henge the warrior actually goes for the back cap.
Kleiner unfortunately getting bursted down here, so Yin is going to back out now, realizing that that's not going to happen. Kleiner will be falling back. However, we do have once again Shiraj taking the Henge over here. Oops, AU is going to try to come in to stop it from the capture point. I don't know, it's going to be pretty close here as we see, and no, the full cap will not go off, unfortunately. Shiraj, however, doing a lot of damage already. We're going to take a look at the numbers that we can see here. The Frost Aura is up, that's a 10% damage reduction, but even with that, we just had 3 1.2k crits go off right next to each other. Another one, a lot of damage going off onto AU, even with this warrior build, which does a lot. Look at this damage. It's crazy for a warrior build, definitely. Almost every hit is over 1,000 damage at least. Definitely a very powerful build.
Very strong. I don't know if he shouldn't be able to kill AU. He's just too squishy. He can heal up too much. But actually, he's really currently looking at him that he is able to deal that amount of damage because those points are so small. But a nice flame burst by AU with a nice knockdown directly afterwards. Sharuja actually used his heal already, 15 seconds, so he could be going down to AU pretty soon. But now the damage on AU again rising a lot. Nice interrupt there. Frost are already popped so that he can't follow him as easily, and we will see him go down.
Fortunately, his tremor, he did pop his tremor before he went down, but unfortunately it was not enough to stop the damage from rolling in. He is going to go down off point now, which will allow AU to just let him sit there and bleed out. He may pop. Yep, we are going to see the vengeance go off here now. Not probably the best choice of time, because we are going to see him not be able to take him down more than likely. Back over here at the mine, we just had Yin Kirsi also go down off point. He's going to be stomped, which is going to give accidentally famous the 3 cap here.
Very nicely played by them. We see Saruja going down. Now Jin is down as well. We only see Kleiner again fighting currently off point against Truck. What we saw on Legacy, he was losing those one-on-ones. He can't keep up to it, especially in the small area where they're currently fighting. He gets so much confusion, so much burning, and of course his poison up, so which increases heal by 33%, which is a lot, especially for that heal segment, which he really depends on. Nice supply drop there.
Indeed, nice supply drop indeed. Trank doing an amazing job chaining Kleiner from getting onto this point, and even now he's going to knock him out before he's even really able to put up a fight on the far point. He will be knocking him back. That's not going to stop him for long. Over here at the mine, we did just have Shiraj take that back for his own team, and we also have the elementals for the blue team falling back to Henge as red team's engineer tries to push in towards it. We're going to take a look at him now. Yin Kirsi you're currently looking at, with AU trying to keep him off the point. It looks like that will not happen, though. He'll get onto the point uncontestedly, and that fight will go on as a 1v1 there. More than likely, this will probably last a while, so we're going to take a look, see if we got any other action going on the map at the moment. We currently have Trank just decapped the mine. We're also going to have Kleiner once again, Trank versus Kleiner over here at the mine point, taking each other on here. A blue team closing in on victory, only about 80 points away now. Red team still, unfortunately, has a long way to go.
Definitely, we see Truck just doing such a great job against him. He really just runs after Kleiner to see where he goes, and they pick off those one-on-one fights like they did on Legacy of the Prophet, and it's working out for them again. So good. We see on Henge there's a 2-on-2 going on right now. Jin Kirsi and Sharuja tried to take on AU, but just went into his form with which he denied so much damage from Sharuja, which is actually going down already. Very well played by them.
Indeed, definitely. They're not gonna knock him out. However, we do have Shiraj coming in here to try to take out Moa, dealing a lot of damage once again. Look at this damage, just the pure sustain that's coming out of this. Once again, he's extremely squishy, Shiraj, don't get me wrong, but he's able to just dish out an insane amount of damage constantly on his foes, which is really making him a strong contender in this match. I definitely think he would work better in a team fight scenario where he could surprise his enemies, as with most warrior builds, but he's doing pretty well on his own as well. And we are
definitely even if I'm surprised that he can stay alive so long against the Necromancer, because the only really weakness about Warrior is the continuous condition damage, which Necromancer can of course put down.
And
I'm
now-
really surprised that happened.
And unfortunately, though, for Accidentally Famous, their door is going to close here in just a few seconds. Congratulations to... I'm sorry, for Epic, the door will be closing. So, congratulations to Accidentally Famous. They will take our 3rd place trophy for today, with Epic taking our 4th place. So, congratulations to them. And
Congratulations also to the 400